Welcome to Balanced Life with Debi Carlin Boyle. Conversations connecting to a healthier you. The show that gives you all the latest and greatest health and wellness information to inspire you to live a life of balance and joy. Debi Carlin Boyle is a health and nutrition coach, personal trainer, and fitness instructor who helps her clients live in balance with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plate. Please welcome your host, Debi Carlin Boyle.
Hello, good afternoon. We have great energy in the studio today. I am really excited about this show, and in 2 seconds you're going to see why. So welcome to my show. This is Balanced Life with me, Debi Carlin Boyle. I'm conversations that hopefully helped you to connect to a healthier you. And I'm an interactive show, so right at the top I want to say that if you want to talk to us and my beautiful guest today, you should call in. The number here is 323-843-2826. So call in, ask a question, make a comment if you feel so motivated to do it. We'd love to hear from you. Also, I want you to know that I'm streaming live on my Facebook page, which is called Fit by Design. And if you go to my Facebook page, you can make a comment or ask a question there, and we'll probably get back to you right after the show. So that all being said, I want to talk about things that I often say to my clients, which I think is so important to find the passion in your life and to go for it. So research has proven that longevity is connected to loving what you do in life, and that creates joy for you and others. So my guest today has done just that. London Kaye is a street artist based here in Los Angeles, California at the moment. Her unique use of crochet to create art pieces made entirely of yarn has brought smiles to communities around the world and has allowed London to create a business out of something handmade. After graduating college, London realized that her love for crochet, art, being spontaneous, and bringing unexpected joy came together harmoniously when she began using crochet to interact with her environment and surrounding community. London began installing art daily on the street, quickly leading to her work being recognized by her communities, people, and businesses. In 2018, London launched her own line for Lion brand yarn. And through leading workshops and teaching crochet, London came to realize the best qualities of her favorite hooks and combined them together using 3D printing technology to create a new style, a crochet hook with a twist, if you will. So London's career has expanded to collaborating with international brands as well. We're going to talk all about that. Most of her pieces are still hung on fences in public places and have been spotted in cities ranging from New York to Rome and Mexico City. So without further ado, will you please welcome my talented guest today, Miss London Kaye. Woo! We have applause that
Hi,
we have
everybody.
magical people because we know they're applauding on the other end. So there it is. London, hello.
Hello.
Thank you. I'm so glad we finally got to do this. How long have we been talking about you coming on my show?
A very long time, and I'm just so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. And you, a very long time ago, were at a different place, and things have changed over that, couple of years that we've been talking about this. And you've just grown to magnificent lengths with your passion and your talent. And I'm so happy to highlight you today. But we're going to get started with where you came from, how it all happened and got started, what your background is. So, and I have to put in a little disclaimer here. I know London. I know her family very well. Her mother's one of my very close friends. And our kids grew up together, and I've watched this young lady blossom from many different things to where she sits now, and I'm so happy that I have a show to have you on and to be highlighted. So where did you grow up?
Oh, I'm smiling from ear to ear. Thank you. It's so fun to be here because you have seen this whole journey.
I have.
Kind of unfold in front of you, but I grew up in Malibu. That's where I met Debi and her both amazing daughters, and we grew up dancing together, and I always danced. And one year I was in 9th grade. I got an injury and I had to stop dancing, and I started really crocheting. And I would crochet scarves and give them to girls at my dance studio.
So you were about 13 years old?
I was 13 when I started crocheting, and
Okay.
then a couple of years later really made it a business.
So you were just making scarves to give to your dance friends and stuff. Because between dance, you have to keep warm. So scarves were such a great idea, between when you'd sit out and you didn't want to cool down, basically.
They became so trendy. Because of the Nutcracker, I would make different combinations. So the candy cane scarf was red and white, or the sugar plum fairy scarf was purple. And
So you were just using that creative edge back then.
yeah, right from
Amazing.
the start, I always kind of put my own little spin on it. And I sold so many scarves. I bought my car when I was 16.
That's amazing.
And I just then kind of kept on dancing. My injury healed, and I got a full scholarship to NYU for dance.
You did, and we were all applauding that when that happened. And off to New York you went.
Off to New York I went. I love New York. It was just such a different... There were so many different people, cultures, the energy. It was such a great place to live. And
we just all thought, so what we expected, and I have to say this, from London, is that we were, and I mentioned this to London before the show, that we were going to see you on Broadway or with a famous dance company somewhere in the world, and we would follow the shows whenever we could, because we just assumed she was the prima ballerina of our studio, and then you went to another studio, your family relocated, but we came and saw your shows there too, because she was something to behold. So never did I realize, and I knew there was crocheting going on, because the group of girls, they were sort of crocheting a little bit. But never in our wildest dreams do we think this would be the direction you would take.
right, like another one of our family friends, Carolyn, she actually taught me to crochet. So it was just like something that I did for fun. Dancing was really like my focus. It's what I did every day. Crocheting was kind of just there, though, as like a fun little passion, something I liked on the side.
Right.
So I went to college, was dancing at school, but because that injury in the back of my mind, I was like, well, maybe this isn't like the smartest career choice, because I have already gotten injured. It kind of changed the way I had to dance moving forward. So I tried to I tried to figure out what I really wanted to do.
So was it a conscious thing to say, I really love art, I really love crocheting, I'm just going to try this? Or was it just on a whim that you just thought you would take a piece and use it as street art?
I was like, so after college, I started working at the Apple store, and I was really bored.
I remember that, too.
Yeah.
We were asking you all the advice from Apple. I remember that.
I love it. Technology is amazing.
Yes.
So that was really fun, but I knew it wasn't what I really wanted. So I would make like lists of what I loved, and crocheting was always at the top. And one night a customer walked in with a really cool crocheted bag, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can make more than a scarf out of yarn. And I had never thought about that before. So right away, I ran home, wrapped a scarf around a tree outside of my house in Brooklyn, because it was like something different. It was unique.
So you just had this moment that said, what if I wrap a scarf around a tree and then kind of document it, like see like what happens? Was that, or you didn't even get that far? You just wanted to wrap it?
I wanted to wrap it. I documented it. Instagram was like at the very beginning. This was 2013.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
It's changed a lot between now and then, but I took a picture, posted it on Instagram, and I had put like a little way for people to reach me, just in case if somebody liked it.
Like a little tag?
Yeah, a little tag.
Because this had a little tag when we're in a little London heart, and London Kaye heart. And so it had a little tag, so what did it say?
The tag, I had a website at the time. I don't know what I was selling, but I had a website. So it was londonkay.com that I put on the tag. And within a week, a grandmother reached out who lived down the block, and she said, me and my granddaughter stop at your tree every day. We talk about it, and it makes our morning. And
oh, my God.
I was like, I got to do more. And it was so fun.
How inspiring. How wonderful.
That kind of was the
precipice.
Push that you really, I just started. And it was just street art. It was all for fun. I gave myself a 30-day challenge, and every day for 30 days I put something outside and left it there for people to enjoy. Took a picture, posted it on Instagram, And that was it. I wasn't worried if it was perfect, if it was good. It was just for fun. It was something that I enjoyed.
Wow. That and it just took off from there. So if we go back a little bit, tell the audience what the definition of yarn bombing is.
Yarn bombing is when you take a piece of knit or crochet and wrap it around something. So a tree is a very popular yarn bomb. Sometimes like a fire hydrant, anything, a chair, anything you can wrap.
Okay.
So that's like traditional yarn bombing. And I started like that.
So, and were there yarn bombers out there when you started? Did you know about yarn bombing? Because you didn't invent it.
I did not invent it. When the artist came in when I was working at Apple, I reprinted her receipt and Googled her name because I thought she was so cool.
Good.
And through her art, I kind of found some hits on this thing called yarn bombing, just on Google. And it was started by this lady named Magda Saeed in 2005. And she took a little piece of crochet and wrapped it around the handle of her yarn shop in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay, here in the States.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's the one that really pioneered kind of the wrapping of
I
things.
didn't know the history of it. Very cool.
Yeah.
So that's where, so then you thought, I can do this,
I can do this, yes. But there was very little on it. There were only a few things that I could even find. But I knew right from the start it was cool.
Yeah. So how did, and so what, how did it take off from there, from, just the grandmother's note to you, from leaving notes? What happened next? So it was well received for the most part when you were leaving little yarn bombs around New York City.
Yes. And I was living in Bed-Stuy, which was like, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn wasn't the cleanest, nicest neighborhood. So I was actually really surprised at how much the neighborhood embraced what I was doing, because living in New York, I was really lucky because so many people could see it. Everyone's walking around, the eyes are on it, and people did embrace it. So because of those tags, different brands, different companies started just reaching out very organically within the first month or two of me doing
Really? Just in the first month? Mm-hmm. And so your first yarn bomb was what year? When did you start?
It was 2013.
That was the one around the tree. Okay. And so within the first 4 weeks, somebody reached out. Which brand was that?
That was Tia Sabani, and it's a fashion brand in the meatpacking district in Chelsea that wanted accessories for their runway show at New York Fashion Week.
Wow, what did you think?
My mind was blown.
That's amazing. You must have been thinking, whoa. So, and you were able to meet the need of what they were looking for.
I was. I mean, I learn from every single project because I really only do one crochet stitch. Nothing's fancy. It's more about, I guess, the process behind it. So I learned so much. But yes, I was able to meet their needs. Thank goodness.
And then that led to other brands reaching out to you from there?
Yeah, that led to other brands. There's a store in New York City called ABC Carpet and Home, and they have amazing furniture and design and things, and they wanted some dream catchers made by me because they had seen a snowflake I had hung on a chain link fence, and they thought it was so beautiful, they wanted something similar in their store. So little things like that
just started to generate other things that would happen. And I know I asked you this before the show. So how long does a piece of your yarn art last? Because I was just wondering if there was a shelf life because of weather, or certain canvases like a fence or a tree are better for longevity than, let's say, a fire hydrant.
Yeah, it really just depends. So sometimes a piece will last 2 years plus, some it'll last only a few hours. And I would say the average is maybe 2 weeks, and it's because people take them down, not because of the weather. Yarn is so resilient. It's so wonderful. But I tell myself whoever takes it loves it so much they can't live without it.
Right. And you pretty much, when you put it up, you say goodbye to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're leaving a piece of yourself, of your creativity and your art, and it's for the community, and it just enhances the environment like no other. Have you had backlash from leaving pieces that you maybe didn't realize the community wasn't going to embrace?
I have. It was a really crazy experience, just a learning lesson for sure about what I do. It is street art, but I don't want to like damage anyone's property or put things in places that people don't want them. So it's been a big lesson in like permission. Make sure you have permission. People want yarn. Like they think it's cool and fun if it's on their fence. So if you can ask, do it.
Yeah.
And then also like keep in mind the people that will be seeing it and what kind of aesthetic you're going for. Make sure it's something that relates to the community and the people
within that community. That's really conscientious of you, and I think that's really important. How satisfying. This is just so great. So tell us some of the other brands and some of the other campaigns that you've worked on, because they've been big. They're huge.
My favorite one, I did a crocheted billboard in Times Square for Miller Lite Beer. It was 50 feet by 25 feet, all crocheted.
I think we're putting the pictures up on the screen right now. Yeah.
Sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't even like really tell it's crocheted from that picture.
Yeah, because it's
crazy.
For most people, so when you do a piece like that, do you do that all by yourself? You have to get a crew working for you.
Yeah, like that project was one of the first ones where I really had a big team working, because I needed like 50 navy blue squares that were each 5 feet by 5 feet, and I had 3 weeks. Like I cannot do that myself.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's great though. Like the community of crocheters and knitters always want to participate in projects. Are always looking for fun things to do, and it's so great to get paid for something that you love to do. So people are always coming out of the woodworks wanting to help and be a part of things.
Very cool. Yeah. To be this recognized is nice.
That's the project that allowed me to quit working at Apple.
That was the one that was the turning point. There you go.
It took 2 years. So I went part-time, then I was finally able to quit. And I think that was really helpful with the process of being able to do what I love, because it didn't put like the pressure of like having to succeed.
Very important of what you just said. I think it's really important because I have people that really want to follow their passion, but are doing sort of not a 9-to-5 necessarily, but maybe bartending or doing whatever. And it's not where they want to be, but they have to live and they have to survive. And it's very important. A lot of people have these side hustles that they want to make a living at, but they can't risk leaving the job that's paying the bills. So I get questioned that all the time. When can I leave? And I always say, you'll know when you can leave, because the project will come along, the turning point will come along, and all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and goes, okay, now I've got something here and now I can move forward. And you can still pay the bills. So, I love that you said that, because that is a really big part of wellness, is when you follow your passion, how do you survive?
Yeah.
And that's, to make your passion a career and be able to be sustainable financially. Tell us also about some of the other, like Red Valentino and all of those projects, because they're so exciting.
Red Valentino was so fun. As I said, like emails through my website are just like, I never know what's going to roll through. So I got an email signed House of Valentino. I honestly thought it was a prank, asking me to work on a project with them. I was like, no way. They want to Skype with me? I was like, who is about to get on the other line? And they're in in Rome, Italy,
and their whole creative team showed up.
There. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. But I got to work with them and do 14 different window displays around the world, all crocheted, that were hung up in their stores. And also a capsule collection of clothes that they actually sold in stores and online.
I remember that. And you were really busy. You had to have a team help you meet this deadline too, right?
I did. Yeah. And my team in New York that I've had working for me now for like about three years, a lot of the girls are still the same. They are so amazing, like always there. Like their stitches a lot of times are nicer than mine, just because I don't know. They're
well,
great.
You're moving from project to project, and they're consistent in what they do, but you have the more creative responsibility on you, if you will. So,
right. Right. I break things down, give them exactly what they need, and it's just so fun being able to, have that kind of team and flow. So that project was up there as well. I've worked with Starbucks. I just worked with Disney. I did a project with NBC just this year as well. So they just keep on coming.
They keep on coming. They keep you very busy. It's a full-time job because you are now have an art studio downtown that you work out of, right? And you have
I do.
So do you have a team here in LA too that you have? So you have teams wherever you need to have a team. It's freaking amazing. And you have also come out with a line of yarn. And this, which I talked about at the top of the show, like a 3D crochet hook. Do you want to tell us about that?
Sure. It's a dream come true working with Lion Brand Yarn. We actually sell yarn nationwide at craft stores. So if you want to learn to crochet, it's a great hobby to unplug, put the phone down, make something.
I agree.
You can
coming from a crochet background, I agree.
They're really like simple patterns, and yarn is great. And then also this 3D hook that I created. I worked for a couple years combining all the best features of the crochet
You
hook.
have one with you, right? Can you show the audience, even though it might, there it is. So that's really, can I see?
Yeah.
So this is a really thick, because I mean, for what you do and for what I was making little Afghans, but this is is it wood?
That's plastic.
This is
it's
plastic.
3D printed.
Okay, yeah. So for 3D, it feels like light,
It's
balsam wood almost. So this is so you can do very large stitch. The very large stitch that you do is really cool. And does it come in a pack of 3, 4?
You can get them in a pack of 3. You can get it individually, but the hook itself, it's like the reason I got the patent is because of the twist. It's more ergonomic, so it's better on your wrist.
Oh, okay.
Crocheting already offsets like arthritis and that sort of thing, so this makes it even just more comfortable.
Easier and comfortable. Okay.
It's also lighter.
Oh, nice.
And it is, because of the bigger hook, it's just faster to make things.
To make. Very cool. I'm so cool that you got the patent for it.
Thank you.
And people can buy this on your website, right? And your yarn too, what is your website?
LondonKaye.com. Kaye is spelled Kaye.com.
And
or Instagram is Made by London.
Okay, so people can go
there.
right there and they can get that. Now, if somebody wants to learn how to crochet, what should they do? Because obviously you're too busy to do workshops and teach them.
I do workshops every once in a while. I have one coming up in Vegas on like May 31st, which should be fun. But YouTube, that's where I learn everything.
You learn everything on YouTube.
Everything.
Go there.
I have some tutorials on YouTube. If anything you want to learn, if you even just want to see how to do the very first step, there'll be like 50 videos waiting for you.
Right there on YouTube. Okay, very cool. And the workshop that you have coming up in Vegas, can anybody anywhere in the world sign up to be part of that?
I don't have all the details now, but if you check my website, I always have my latest events up there. And it's through a music festival. So
okay.
I think you may have
so
to
this is a little side like
pop-up
booth or
shop.
Something that they'll have at a convention or a festival.
Exactly.
And then come learn here's a little workshop, sign up from 2 to 3 to work with London Kaye. And
though, I have a book coming out in September.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You have to wait a couple months.
Okay, tell me about your book.
Yeah, it's all about how to crochet.
Okay.
Can't even believe I didn't start with
There
this.
you go. So people, and they can get that through your website. Are you on Amazon, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's on Amazon.
Amazon and your website.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge. And also, you have a TV show that you consult for. Tell our audience about the show, The Village.
Oh.
You forget. I'm going to help you.
So there's a new show out on NBC right now called The Village. It's so adorable. It takes place in New York, and one of the main characters is a yarn bomber. And she was actually, her whole like crafty self was inspired by me, and the writer had seen some of my work a few years ago. So that's one of the projects that I was helping out with the marketing campaign for earlier this year.
That's right. That's huge. I watched that show, and I watched it because of you. And the other thing I watched, and before we leave, because believe it or not, our time has just flown by, but you were on The Amazing Race, and you came in third, and you should have won. I watched every single episode, and the effort that you and your partner put into it, with the smile on your face and the energy the two of you had, should have been, I mean, this is, the winners, they worked hard and they deserved to win. But there was a little bit of complaining going on in that team, and so I had a little bit of issue with the fact they came in first. But Tell the audience about that experience going all over the world.
Oh man, it's season 29. So if you haven't watched The Amazing Race, it's a show where you compete in different countries, different cities around the world. And we went crazy places like Vietnam and South Korea and Brazil, and just amazing. So not many people could say they went on a reality show and don't regret their actions. So I'm very happy that I was able to go through that show without losing my temper. Or
the smile you have
crazy.
now, I knew how tired that, the kind of tasks that you guys and challenges that you were put up to and watch. And some people were not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like you are, or were during that time. So I'm sure that really helped motivate your partner and even yourself. And I am in awe of how you got through that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So, and it's such a drag when you get that close. But anyway.
I know.
Anyway, you handled it so beautifully and eloquently. It's very impressive. And I must say, with what you're doing with your life is beyond impressive to me. And, I feel like someone like you can inspire anybody when they think, oh, I can't do that. All you have to do is take one step at a time towards what you think you want to do or what you love to do, and turn something that wasn't even something into something big. And I think that is the most important takeaway from how all of this is working for you, is that you've created something from just sitting around crocheting. I mean, it's oh, we have a call. Oh, we're going to take it.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, caller, are you there? Caller? Hi, caller, are you there? Oh, hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am calling from Los Angeles.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Do you have a comment or a question for this wonderful guest? Okay.
I want to know, my name is Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
And I just wanted to know, I was watching the TV at the same time. I just wanted to know,
a delay.
Does London have things to purchase, or where can we look for her things?
Okay. So tell the audience again, where can we find your things?
Yes. So you can find everything on my website, londonkay.com, through Instagram @MadeByLondon, or on Amazon, which is where I would go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. that's why I asked you earlier
Yeah.
if you're on Amazon, because everybody.
Okay, so they're not. Are they sold in stores or anything?
Yes.
you are.
Stores too. You
What
can
stores?
Get yarn and hooks at Blick, AC Moore,
Oh, that's here in LA.
bunch of different craft stores, Joann's.
Okay. Oh, Joann's.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's lovely. Okay.
Now
good.
that I've
So
told
let people
you,
know.
Now that people know, maybe they'll start seeing my name more places.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So we are running out of time. Catherine, I want to thank you for your call. Thank you so much. It was a good question. Thank you. And thanks for listening today.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful, effervescent
Thank you.
guest I have. I want you to leave my audience with some final words of wisdom, some inspiration, whatever you want.
I would say just keep going. You were kind of touching on that earlier. Like, when times get hard, if you give up, a lot of other people are too at that same time. So if you just keep pushing through and don't give up at that obstacle, the next one that comes around, you'll just have even greater success.
I love it, because that's what it's really all about. Passion in life creates joy, and if anybody exudes that, it's you. So on that note, I want to hope that you will follow your passion, because it is something that will connect to a healthier you. It is known to create longevity with quality. So go find your joy. And I thank you for joining us, and I thank you. And I'm going to be right back here next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.